Q,
What's up?
welcome to Sunday Conversation.
You're in my house today. Ask me to say welcome.
They don't know that.
Well, I know. Welcome to my house with your songs in conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. For those who don't know, we have a relationship, artist-manager relationship. But
I
when
don't
we,
know this guy from nowhere.
but when we did the first Songs in Conversation, there was barely any relationship. It was strictly business.
Really?
And so now I'm trying to even understand how you felt about the event and all. So we're going to discover this together with the audience.
I see.
So, what was the performance like?
Charlie, you know, before every performance, there's always like nervousness, no matter how small it is. It doesn't even matter if you know that because it's intimate, the people that are coming are most likely people that know your music and are going to. There's still just this nervousness because you're wondering if you'll be able to give them the show that they are looking for, So there was that, and then once you sit up on that stage, at least for me, it's like something else takes over. You enjoy, you give out the energy that you're expecting the crowd to also give back to you. And Charlie, this was a great way for me to start my year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a great way for me to start my year because the love in the building was crazy, and there were people that had come all the way from Kumasi to Accra. Like, shout outs to KB. He was like, "Yo, I came all the way from Kumasi. Right after here, I'm hopping back on the bus. I'm going back to Kumasi." And that was so heartwarming to hear. Yeah, it also reminded me of my uni days when I used to do night bus to Kumasi and then come back in the morning, dawn bus to come and write IA, and then night bus back to Kumasi again because.
Yeah, you told stories like that. And for me, when I shared the idea with you, I knew it was going to be a dope night because before I could even finish explaining it, you were already explaining it to me. So I was ready for a good show, and I got the chance to experience the rehearsal and everything. When you think back on the show, what are the memories that come to mind?
Charlie, just the people, Charlie, and what the music means to them at the end of the day. When you do the bigger crowds, you hear and maybe feel the energy, but you don't see the faces as much. Unless maybe you watch it on playback or something, you don't see them as much. You don't see how much certain lines or whatever means to them. But at a place like Songs in Conversation, so you're seeing everything. When you say a line and it hits somebody in the guts, you can see it on their face. I remember when I switched over into the high life jamming segments, and like all the women stood up. I was like, "Oh, I didn't know I have this many women fans." So, that's nice to know. And they were really dancing. They were jamming. Like, Charlie, I were one of those. I am my jam. That was good to know. Yeah.
Lovely. After your Songs in Conversation session, I was speaking to other artists that might come into the subsequent editions, and you sort of set the bar very high to the point where someone was telling me that they don't think they can do Songs in Conversation because they don't think they're funny. That was one of the highlights for me because you're really funny and really engaging. And so now it is.
I think I probably know who said that. Because it's a she. Is it a she?
Well.
Right? Yeah. Well, she walked up to me she calls me Linford. Linford, I've known you for years. I didn't know you were funny. And I'm like, how did you know I was funny? Because every time I've been in a setting with you and we've had conversations, it's always been serious things. Yeah. So that's also one of the things I don't know if I'm funny. Like I'm just a Kumasi boy.
Okay. I guess sometimes the setting can bring out something in you and the energy you get from the room.
Yes.
But I was bringing this up because I wanted to know, like, what was the hardest part of doing this with that kind of crowd and sharing intimate stories behind the songs or your journey?
I guess the hardest part is knowing what to share, and also because there isn't a script, just figuring out what will be too much, what will not be enough, what will be perfect, and then not ending up just talking and then not saying anything. So that's always like, before when I was doing rehearsals, I thought of like what stories could I tell about each song.
Yeah.
But once you are in front of them, some of them change. It goes somewhere else. Yeah.
On that same breath, what was the easiest part of doing something conversation?
Easiest part is rehearsals, because you get to enjoy yourself. And that's like the most fun part, because for me, I always wanted to be in a band. So anytime I get the opportunity to do band rehearsals, it's like living a childhood dream.
Yeah, lovely. I got to see the process of getting ready for the show, but I haven't quite seen the process of you making music, or rather writing songs. What's your process like?
Bro, man, Charlie. I don't think I have. For recording, I self-record, if inspiration hits or if I find a mood, I just go in there. I think they have seen, your crew have seen.
My crew has seen.
Something. Yeah.
My crew is so lucky. Like, how did you do that before me?
Yeah. They see me record. I self-record. But as far as the writing, it depends. I can have an idea and it will just be dancing in my head. So I think my writing process just starts from living. Right, just living and going through things is, noticing things. So just cool. Just making mental notes of things.
Okay.
When you go to places, when you watch something or whatever, or you remember a memory, being able to kind of capture the feeling.
Okay.
Because for me, the most important part about the music is the feeling. Is being able to make people feel, right? All the rest of it, the technique and whatever, they're like garnishment for me. But because even if you're not very technical, even if you are not like a great rapper or a great singer, if you can make people feel what it is you're talking about, you have them. So it always starts with being able to understand, if I have a concept, what is the feeling behind this?
Yeah.
And then making sure that when I'm ready to record, that is the exact mood I'm in. So most of the time I struggle when I have to re-record stuff. Because after I record, it's like I've left. It's like, this is done. And then later you come and tell me to. I never quite get the balance.
You're not in that zone, like the zone you want in.
Anymore, yeah. So I've just recently I've started maybe noting movies or other people's music or whatever that puts me in certain moods.
Yeah.
Just in case I want to try and induce it artificially to see if I can catch it.
Yeah, that's interesting what you said in the beginning about like your writing style, writing to inspire feeling and not just like the technicality. I was reading Jay-Z Decoded and he was talking about how, you are in you first start off in a moment where you want to be the best rapper and you're thinking about the different skills you can do, the bloods and those, and then you're experiencing life and then it becomes the story. You want the story to be in the forefront as opposed to the skill set of the technicality of the rap. So from what you say, that means you write more, or let me ask you the question, do you write more from observation or from imagination?
So I think me and Jay are backwards. I got interested in rap because of how an Obrafo song made me feel. It was never about the technique.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't grow up in the Bronx where they were doing
where
freestyle battles and things.
I mean, my cousin was rapping.
Okay.
People were rapping. Even when I started to write rap on my own, and I would go to school, some of my mates will battle, but nobody knew that I rapped because I didn't. That was never the thing for me. It was never trying to be better than everybody thing for me. It was more trying to tell my stories. It was more trying to tell the story of some of the people that I know through music, so that I will feel the same way that song made me feel. So I would say that I write more from observation and living life itself than from imagination.
Okay.
I can imagine a completely fictional story and write, but when I record it, I think you'll be able to tell that I'm lying. I can't quite figure out the moods to match if I make it up.
Oh.
Do you understand? If I make it all up, I can't quite figure out the moods to match. Unless
it doesn't have to be lying. It just be like
that's what I'm saying. So unless it's a fiction but based on fact.
Okay.
Do you understand? Unless names have been changed to protect people, or that's not how it ended, but we twisted it a little, or I saw it happen to somebody else and I'm writing as if it happened to me. Yeah, but if I have to completely sit and and I make it up, it's harder to bring it to life. I have done that in the past. I think I came from the feeling part to the technique part. I came from the feeling part, and then when I met my first manager, he sort of acted more as an artist development person for me to help me hone the skill part.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the honing of the skill part formed a part of the first pieces of music that I put out.
Okay.
Because one of the exercises he gave me was that I should record. He's a big fan of Lil Wayne, so he was like, every month I have to drop a mixtape of at least 12 songs. So I did that for 6 months. Every month, 12 other people's beats, 12 songs. I'm just rapping like I'm the best rapper.
Yeah.
We put it out on the internet. So the earliest people who came to my music, they came for technique. Yeah, back in those days, DJ Slim called me Punchline King. That's what I'll do. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Until I got to a point where I felt like, okay, I have enough of a hand on the technique to now move to the storytelling.
Okay.
Also, I started noticing that the technique was distracting people. Because it's if you say a line that is crazy, it's hey, this line is crazy, and then maybe they miss the next 2-3 lines, or they miss the whole story.
Yeah.
When you meet people, they are telling you about, this line is good, this line is good. I'm nah, that's not why I got in it, to be the best rapper in that way. Yeah.
In your artist development stage, that exercise of releasing a project every month for about 6 months, apart from the technique, what else did you learn from that process?
Work ethic, different ways to approach just music making. It also taught me how to record. Because most of those songs I recorded myself. I think another thing that's probably most important is because we were putting it out, it also taught me how to build community, how to talk to my community and get, because I remember one of the first negative thing that I got. I used to, back then, Facebook, I'll come and post on people's walls and stuff. And this girl messaged me, and she was really, really angry and lashing out that I should never put that whack music, basically insulted me and stuff.
Yeah.
And then my first energy, but then I sat down, I calmed down, and my response was, I'm just a young artist coming up, trying to work on my stuff to improve. I appreciate that she's coming to me this way. I'll never put anything on her this thing again, but because she's saying my music is working, can she tell me how to improve And then when she responded, she said, "Oh, she's sorry. She's not the one who sent it. Her little brother sent it." And so some of those things kind of taught me how not every reaction to the music, every response to the music online is even coming from a real place. Some of it is just fishing for attention. Some of it is just, and it taught me how to focus on the people that you're speaking to and know that, okay, not everything will be for everybody. Yeah.
That's really interesting how you learned how to engage fans, like PR and brand management. In creating songs, how do you know when a song is done?
Oh, you never know. You never know. Like when you put, it's one of the reasons why it's hard. If you ask if you ask most people that make music, it's hard to listen to the song when it is finally out. Like when you go to places and you're playing it, and not that you go to a place and when a DJ sees you, then he starts playing it, and they're all from the out of goodwill. But like when I'm hearing stuff, especially stuff that's old, and I think like I've become better, all I'm hearing is things that I could have done better. Like this line here could have, if I had added this, it would have taken it somewhere else. The flow here is a little jittery. Why would I say that? Yeah. So just that just happens after. Yeah, I don't think you are ever done. I think you just get to a place where, at least for me, you decide to let the song go. Yeah, because a bunch of songs I record, some of the songs I record don't make it out anyway.
Okay. What's the one song that you made that never made it out that you think about a lot?
If it didn't make it out, it means that I chose not to put it out. So I don't think I think about those songs that much. Yeah. Okay. I do have a song though that I think I recorded around the For My Brothers era, where I was talking about my cousin who's the reason I started making music.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just I produced it too. I was just talking about watching him go through the journey and then me ending up going through the journey and just wondering whether when he sees me, he feels like, he had a part to play, whether he feels like he's successful himself because I am doing it successfully and stuff. Yeah, so that song is a song that I still really like. Okay. Yeah, and I think it just popped up in my mind because he called me after like over 15 or maybe even over 15 or 16 years. He called me 3 days ago. Yeah, out of the blue. He's in London now. He just called me out of the blue, and then we just started talking. And it was like, yeah, Charlie. When he tells people that he used to put me in a room and show me his rap sentences, they don't believe him. I'm like, yeah, Charlie, I'm here because of you. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting that you remember moments like that. In your studio, there are many posters of musicians and pop culture moments and icons. Is there anything in your sound or references that fans have not picked up on yet that bothers you? Or it's just like, why wouldn't you catch this? Or how have you not noticed this? Is there anything like that from influences that you have?
I think one of the biggest things that it doesn't really bother me, but it's funny is the people that I get compared to. I compare to Nas a lot. And I'm a big Jay-Z fan. So also very recently I didn't like Nas at all, right? But I get compared to Nas a lot. And I think recently to have been compared to J. Cole a lot as well. And I don't listen to J. Cole as much as I listen to Drake and Kendrick, even. Like Drake more so. But I kind of it doesn't necessarily bother me. It's just kind of funny,
Okay.
because sometimes some people try to use that as a way to shade, like when conversations come up and maybe Nas fans wants to shade Jay-Z or something, they want to kind of loop me into that. I was like, like somebody who's thoughts they respect. So, if you all the respectful rappers like Nas, I'm like, nah, nigga, I don't like that guy. Yeah, but shout out to like Charlie. That's an incredible rapper. I just connected with Jay more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because in business, like when you bring out a new product, sometimes the idea you have is not necessarily what the audience wants, the way they want.
Yeah.
And then you pivot. Was that something you thought about doing? Like, okay, I want to hone in on the fact that they think I sound like J. Cole and Nas, and then study them more and try and create your music based off of these artists?
I think I've been a bad businessman for like a long time, because me, when you like a thing about me and it's not a thing that I want you to like, usually I just stop. I just stopped doing it. So like I stopped being overly technical because of that. Like I don't want you to see me as this overly technical rapper. I want you to listen to what I am saying.
Okay.
I want you to see me and say, that when you talked about, your dad over here reminded me of this situation that I had with my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in that sense I have been like a bad businessman. But I definitely, the way that I use those comparisons, I guess, is in maybe when we have to figure out how to get new fans using advertising or whatever.
Okay.
People that like J. Cole and Nas, are more likely to, but I think everybody that is a true Jay-Z fan, if they listen, they can tell.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And
there are certain things.
in a sense, they're a good businessman. But I think it works well in music not to, especially when you're established, to try and hone your skill set according to particular artists.
Yes.
So it's good to be stubborn in that. But as a businessman, I think that it's nice to always listen to your your customers.
Yeah, but it's like it's the balance between art and commerce, right?
Yeah.
Because the artist is supposed to just do whatever it is that they are feeling. The result of that is that sometimes if you are not right on time with your art, it takes like another 100 years before people realize that, Van Gogh, that guy was brilliant. He's dead and gone. He died in poor. He died poor, but this guy is brilliant. Yeah, and then if you're lucky and you're right on time, like you meet what the people are expecting at that time, so then you get whatever you're getting from there.
But I like how you use the data from the comparisons to using your ad approach. So at least it's doing something there. You mentioned Nas, Jay-Z, J. Cole. Who is your dream collaborator?
My dream collaborators are Asha from Nigeria.
Okay.
Kanan, that's Kanan for Waving Flag. I think an Emily Sunday song will be absolutely brilliant. Maybe people haven't noticed, I don't do a lot of rap collabs. Because most of the time, by the time the song is done, I've said everything that needs to be said.
Yeah, I was just going to say that the names you're mentioning.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of rap collabs because I think it's because I stopped making like technical music. Because if I think of Kendrick, what is it that I'm going to talk about that I think Kendrick might have a perspective on to bring? And most of the time, if I have a concept, I've already done it, and I feel like, it's full. You understand? So what space is there? So most of the features that I think about are singers.
Okay.
Yeah, are singers. And it's also I'm attracted to how people write mostly. Even before the voice, just how people write. Frank Ocean is another one.
Okay.
Big Frank Ocean fan that I would love to work with. If are there rappers that I would love to work with? I don't know. I have rappers that I'm huge fans of, but I don't think I wake up like, I want to work with this guy.
So that stays as a fan-artist relationship for you.
Unless maybe we are in a space
Okay.
and something happens and the energy is there.
Oh.
Like I'm always down to, if they send me something, I'm always down to, or if we are in a space and the energy is there, I'm always down to do that. But besides that, no.
These names you mentioned are very, if you like, eclectic in the sense that they're like from different sounds. What about your musical upbringing influence loving different sounds?
I actually didn't even say some people. I think I should have said, now that you've gone there, I think I should have said a bunch of people I wanted to really work with are dead now, because I really wanted to work with Papa Yankson,
Okay.
CK Man. I still want to work with Samuel Owusu. I would most likely work with Ofoyan Ponsan before. It's all said and done. I really wanted to work with Kofi B as well. There's a song on my next project, the side B. The first song that I, for the longest, was discussing on how to get Mama Tiwa from Yasapon and Asumafo on it. And then I went to the VGMAs and I heard her and I was like, yo, bro, it was like they were playing a CD. Like she's well into her 60s or 70s. So when she came on stage, I was like, hey, more hamama, mama, bread and more and everything. And they give her the mic, and my God, that voice. So I'd love to work with her as well as a bunch of older gospel artists. But back to your question. The first pieces of music I heard that I remember High Life. Kakeku number 2. My grandma used to play Kakeku number 2. Play a lot in the house. My uncles would play Shaggy, bombastic, very fantastic, and a lot of reggae. And then being a Ghanaian, gospel was also like everywhere.
Okay.
And then my older cousins started getting into rap, and then they brought hip life to the house. So they brought Lord Kenya, Obrafo. No, Obrafo was the first person that was able to like get me interested in it. But they played everybody at Shame, whoever they could find. And then when I moved from Bantama to Brooklyn Estate, my other cousins who were there, one of them was like just a year older than me, and the other one's like maybe 3 years. They were heavy on hip hop. So they put me on hip hop. But like I said, I'm attracted to writing. So certain things I kind of gravitate. Oh, my aunties and female cousins also put me onto Celine Dion, Westlife, that type of thing. Yeah, it was like it's just lots and lots of music all around.
Yeah, I guess it takes a community to build a music taste.
Yeah, exactly.
You mentioned gospel, and it caught my attention because I feel like almost every Ghanaian artist is low-key gospel artist. They're just running away from it.
Yeah, Ghanaians love God, so I guess we were all raised on the same things up until when choice became a thing, right? Because depending on when you were born, your only options for music and entertainment might have been like some 4 radio stations and some 1 or 2 TV stations.
Okay.
There was a time when if you put a song on advertising cycle for a band, it would become a hit because everybody in the country would see. You understand? So I guess we were all raised on the same things, and these are things that, so even people that are no longer Christians, when they hear gospel music, the nostalgia that it awakens, especially from like old gospel music, all of that stuff is still there. So I think gospel, high life, hip life, for the most part of my, and hip hop, but like the Lil Wayne era, for the most part of my upbringing were the main things.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for the generation before us, reggae was like a huge thing as well, because it even bled into the way they made high life and gospel.
Yeah. Yeah, the gospel thing makes sense now when you say, because I was researching on high life music, and after like Nkrumah's era, during the military regime, high life was like dwindling down, and one of the reasons was because maybe there was no money to buy musical instruments. I heard there's also some high tariffs on even importing
things. I think it dipped and came back.
But it was the gospel high life artists and the churches that sort of like brought music back into the scene heavy. So I guess that you guys are like the descendants of that.
Yeah, that's just what we are.
Yeah. You've grown a lot in the past years. I feel like your audience has grown really well. And one of the moments I caught that was during a UC session when he was performing one of your songs together and he brought you up on stage to rap your parts, and the audience just went crazy. How are you able to stay grounded knowing you have that kind of fan base, like ready to support you all the time?
I think I still do not know how many people I affect. Yeah, I think I still do not know, and I think a part of me does not want to know. But I think I stay grounded because the fame part has never really been a draw of doing music for me.
Okay.
I was never, I remember the first time, like, I saw Lagbaja, I was like, you should have done this. You should have done this. You should have put like something on your face, because I do not like attention as one. I enjoy being alone. I also like being able to do normal things. Like I like being able to go to the wache place and buy my wache and like walk, be able to be in a queue and buy. Not when I get there and then somebody's like, oh, Amelia, do you know this guy? Then give it to him, like, yeah.
You don't like discounts. You don't like freebies.
I like freebies, but I like freebies as a civilian fighting for the freebies.
Okay.
Do you understand? I like freebies in the same way we all. I like getting there and you're telling me that it's 100 cities and I'm like, a day 100 cities. Remember 50. But I don't like I get it like, oh, coach, you
it's 100.
Yeah, like calm down. You understand? Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of songs in conversation, there's some questions that we have for you from the audience.
Definitely.
Let me look at some of them. First question is interesting. I hope you guys are ready. What keeps you going knowing you're this dope, but not having the numbers to show for it?
Maybe knowing that being dope has nothing to do with the numbers. Yeah, knowing and understanding that there's a difference between what you are or how good you are at your job and how many customers you have.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah, because I think my auntie makes the best rice in the whole world. And she can't compete with KFC. It's a different ball game.
Yeah. So this question I think has been answered on this already. For my brothers, it was a heavy project. Do you have to be in an emotional place to put out art like that? What happens when you're not feeling heavy?
I'm always feeling heavy. There was like a heavy place, yeah. But no, I don't think I can put out music when I'm going through a thing. I don't even record when I'm going through a thing. It's like after I've dealt with it, then I can visit it anyway. So by the time it gets out, it's heavy for everybody hearing it for the first time. But I've probably had years to deal with it myself and come to terms with it. Yeah. So No, I do not need to feel heavy all the time to put music out, but the world is just so heavy. Yeah.
I have a question.
Mhm.
If your music could heal, what would you want it to heal? Or what do you think it can heal? Double question.
Uh, I capitalism probably. Yeah.
I don't know if we're sick.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Capitalism probably. Because I remember sometime like 2012, me and Exo Senago, we had this back and forth about what we think like a perfect, world for creatives would be. And I was always of the view that if money was taken out of the equation and everybody just got to do what they loved simply because they like super in love with it, that a lot more people will end up in places that they actually enjoy and love, and more excellence will kind of, grow out of that. But I think capitalism's argument is that without the money motivation, people, they will not be motivated to push boundaries and stuff. I disagree. So I guess my dream world is maybe a world where the basics are covered for everybody and they do not have to sacrifice all of their time, for that. Because we have societies now where the basics are covered for most people, but it's still at the cost of so much of their time that before you notice, you spent all of your time just working.
Just have your lights on.
Just to be able to eat and have some lights on and that's it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I'm glad you mentioned your high life learnings. Are we ever going to get an album from you that's high life heavy?
Yeah, it's in my head. Yeah, it's in my head, but it's very, very possible. It's just that I cannot predict the future, so it depends. One thing I don't like to do is I don't like to number one, force things, and number two, I don't like to. Well, I like when things progress, so I'm not in my head trying to make the same high life that E.T. Mensa made, because Daddy Lumba didn't make that same high life. I'm also aware of the fact that music now and the people that enjoy music now enjoy something different. So until I'm able to enter a certain place where I feel like I can bring some type of high life that's, it's not just stuck in the past, but it can also live here, then maybe.
Yeah. Next question is, a lot of musicians don't speak about marriage. Are there any songs dedicated to your wife? And what is it like being an artist with true family values?
What is true family values anyway?
What is it to you? What is true to you?
I don't know what true family values are.
Family values.
What are family values? I honestly do not know.
Putting your family first, thinking of providing for them.
You think a person that's not married doesn't put their family first and think of providing?
This is just about your perspective.
So the first thing is that I do not know what true family values are. Yeah, as far as making music about my wife, I've made countless songs about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've made countless songs about her. So it's like I'm saying, it has to come from a real place.
Okay.
Yeah. So even now, if you ask me to make, a love song or a song about women or whatever, because I've been married for 11 years, it definitely has to come from that place. Even if I present it as something else. But,
I guess maybe that might be some values people look at, like how you adore your wife and put on wax.
Okay.
On your album, For My Brothers, you had SDC and Lady Donley on Smiling. How did that come about?
Yeah, shout out to Walasi. Walasi was the one that put the whole play together. Lady Donley was already, shout out to Jules too. When Jules gave me the beats, Lady Donley was already on it. And then I knew that I wanted to work with SDC because I'm a big fan, and I knew that Walasi had worked with them before, so I reached out to him and he connected me. And they also, were happy to do it because they had already worked with Jews in the past. He gave them like one of their first big songs with Feel Alright, so they were super happy to do that. So shout outs to Walasi, shout outs to Jews, and shout outs to Don Lee and SDC.
Nice. Now, the last question I have here is, are you happy? That's a loaded one.
Yeah, but it depends. It depends on if you're asking me, am I happy as I sit here?
Are you happy as you sit here?
Or am I happy in life? Yeah. Am I happy as I sit here? Yeah, I'm not happy.
Why are you not happy? Are you not enjoying
There are
this
a bunch of
conversation?
people in my house with cameras and
Are you
stuff
not enjoying this
talking
conversation?
to me. I was sleeping. I was sleeping and they just like came with cameras and says they are talking to me. I'm
No
not
sleep
happy.
for the wicked, I guess. Are you wicked?
Yeah, I guess I must be wicked. This is how they're treating me. But Charlie, I'm sure at the time. Yeah, I don't know if I know what happy is. I don't think I've known that for like a long ass time. But currently I'm not sad. Does that work?
I guess so. I really do think it's a very deep question.
Yeah, I'm not sad. I'm not sad at all currently. I feel alive. I feel like I want things to happen. I haven't felt that in a long time. But I don't know what happy is. So maybe one day when I catch the happy, I'll be like, yeah, this is what they is.
So that's all the questions from the audience. Really interesting questions. It must be interesting hearing from your fans and the kind of questions they are thinking about for you or thoughts.
At least nobody asks about Sister Ifya, so you can't go for that. That's all. Like
maybe you should put that on a record then.
Every 3 minutes. Can you tell us about Sister Ifya? Your therapist self won't force you to talk about trauma like that.
Trauma like that.
Every 3 minutes, Sister Ifya, and they're laughing. Like, yeah, that's cool.
So from where I was standing, I think you had a lot of fun as something conversation.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I enjoyed myself. And then when I was going home, I took home some, kebabs and things.
So, how important is a platform like Songs in Conversation for our industry?
Especially now, it's super, super important because it's a great way for artists to connect directly with their community and even try to build it. It's also a different way for fans to experience artists in more intimate settings, and especially now where in Ghana it's hard for upcoming artists to get as many platforms to connect with fans, build audience, do whatever. I think it's come at a crucial time, and I hope it keeps going and it gets bigger and stronger. Yeah, bigger doesn't mean 1,000 people.
I was like, okay. Well, I only asked you that question because I want to use this clip for that. Thank you very much for being the first ever artist on Songs in Conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I wish you the very best in your future, and that'll be all for now. Cheers.